There, now you can hit record.
And action. Ooh, we're blurry. Okay.
Are we? Oh. Oh, we just got out of My Cousin Rachel, starring Rachel Weisz as herself. It's a weird documentary.
They did never say her last name, so it could very well be My Cousin Rachel Weisz.
Exactly. It was her. We could really say anything we want. I don't know how many people are going to watch us review this movie.
This movie is about aliens.
Mm-hmm.
They come down and kidnap Rachel Weisz and make her the queen. And she has to defeat a long-living, almost immortal race.
You ever see the movie Oversexed Rug Suckers from Mars?
Oh,
same
so
exact
many
movie. Same movie. Actually, this is a pretty good movie, honestly.
Yeah, it's creepy as shit.
Yeah, it is.
And it's one of those movies that you can tell that something awful is going to happen. Like, I was trying to think, what's that Christian Bale movie where he's all like, abracadabra?
Oh, The Prestige?
Yeah, it kind of reminded me of that in terms of, like, crushing dread.
Mm-hmm.
It's basically about this guy who's raised by his cousin in a women-free household. Mm-hmm. And then his cousin gets sick and has to go away to Italy because the sunshine will do him good because we're in the time when doctors didn't know shit about fuck. And so while he's there, he meets his cousin Rachel, who I don't know if they're like actual cousins or like the sort of like metaphorical cousins that they had back then, and ends up marrying her, but then dying of what's purported to be a brain tumor on the medical reports. And so, meanwhile, his cousin back home, the guy we're following, was that Fennec? Was that wheelchair suicide? Or did he just really look like
was
him?
that him? Oh, I think it might have been.
He was like one of those like pretty sort of elfin guys. If it wasn't him, it was a guy who looked exactly like him. He'd been getting letters from his cousin, all like, this woman's trying to kill me, come at once. And so, and the woman shows up and she's not at all what he expected. She's very sweet and Rachel Weisz.
Yeah.
And he ends up falling in love with her. This movie was, as it was going, sort of making itself out to be like oldie time Gone Girl.
Yeah, I know, right? I was thinking that too.
But at the end, you realize it's, oh no, this guy's just like the nice guy who's, pining for this woman and then gives her a bunch of stuff. And he's like, okay, so I own you now? And since it's the olden times, it kind of works.
Uh-huh.
And it's this poor woman. What was your perception of the movie?
My perception of this movie was, for the first half of it, I was, honestly, maybe even more than that, up until she got the money and everything. I was sitting there thinking, this guy is kind of dumb. Like, I was sitting there thinking that because I'm sitting there as an audience member. But if I was in this guy's shoes, man, Rachel Weisz is fucking charming. Like, here, have all my diamonds. I love you, Rachel Weisz. So I was looking at it at first like, okay, so she's like a Black Widow. She's like a con artist or a killer or something like that. Or like maybe she poisoned her husband. And that's really kind of what the movie is leading you to think. Like the close-up shots of the tea she pours, the fact that he kind of gets a little sick during the movie. But at the same time, they leave it ambiguous to a point to where they don't specifically answer one way or another a little bit. And when it got to the last 30 minutes of this movie, I was like, you know what? Like, if she is poisoning him, then good on her. But I don't know. Like I kind of liked that about this movie, that once it got towards the past, like when she gets all the money and everything, I was like, yeah, I don't know. This guy could just be really fucking paranoid.
I'll tell you what my interpretation of it was. And that is, I don't think that... I was kind of watching it from the perspective of, okay, what if she's innocent? Because I like a twisty movie. And from that perspective, it seemed to me that what was happening was that she seemed to know a lot of medical stuff in terms of like the tea that she was making.
Yeah.
And the movie was kind of leading you towards this, so maybe she's poisoning him.
Yeah.
But you have to remember that she was also married to a guy who slowly died of brain cancer.
Right.
And so I feel like when she was giving like him his specific tea, I think she recognized in him the symptoms of brain cancer.
Yeah.
And so then at the end, after he tricks her into falling off a cliff, and he's all like, "Whose fault is this?" And I'm like, "Yours." He's in the carriage with the other lady that he married and had some kids off of.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh, my head still hurts. I wonder why my head still hurts." It's like, because you have brain cancer and you are no longer getting medicine tea.
Yeah, exactly. And so I really did start looking at it more so from her point of view once a certain point in this movie happened. It was a good guessing game. It really was. It really was, because it was like, depending on how you're looking at this movie and depending on how you interpret different things, you can lead in either direction on this thing. Honestly, you can. I wonder how the book is too. This movie has been adapted, the book has been adapted quite a number of times. I think when I looked it up, when I just looked up the plot on IMDb earlier, there was quite a few other movies that have this title to it. So you don't think that she was poisoning him?
No, I absolutely don't.
I kind of don't either. Like,
I think that she was just she had been married the once.
Yeah.
And she had a lover, and her husband and the lover had a duel and shot itself out. She obviously likes sex. She boinked the kid a couple times. He's like, "Okay, so now we're gonna get married." She's like, "No, dude, I just had sex with you."
Yeah.
The one time and enjoyed it, and then had sex with the second time, which is just rapey.
Yeah.
And so then, she married the second brother, who the movie intimated was gay, and kind of made an exception for her.
Yeah.
Fell in love with a woman, which was not usually his want, and then also had a gay lover, Mustache McGee.
Yeah.
And they sort of, had a little relation. It seems to me they were implying that it was like a threesome sort of situation.
Yeah.
And then he got sick and died. Mm-hmm. And so she's just this, sexually liberated woman who's on her own now, and she's like, "Great, I can, make my own way in the world. I should go visit my cousin and see this place that my husband told me so much about, and I kind of fell in love with through his stories." And then the cousin falls in love with her, gives her a bunch of money that she, at no point in the movie she asked for or wanted, and then said, "Okay, so now we're married." And when she said no, he throttled her on the staircase.
But again, if she were a con artist, she wouldn't just come out and say, "I want your money." She would be doing exactly what she was doing in this movie.
Yeah, but she gave the diamonds back at the very end. She gave the pearls back that one time.
But again, I could have been. Don't get me wrong. I agree with that. Like, this is probably just his paranoia and everything. But like, if you wanted to look at it from the point of view of like, okay, what if she kind of is? And when they were finding notes and stuff in the house that kind of contradicted what he was thinking, I was thinking in my head like, okay, like, she could pick up on that he might suspect something because he refused to drink the tea. And a good con artist like this could maybe plant something to be found. Look, if she was a con artist and she goes through all of these steps, I wouldn't put it past her to just hide some notes here and there that might contradict whatever paranoia he has.
I understand what you're saying. I don't think the timeline adds up in terms of, like, her figuring out that he was on her, because right after he's turned on the tea, she went for the horse ride, and he's like, "Oh, but go by that cliff that crumbled that one time."
Oh, yeah. Well, you see, you gotta plan on these things.
So she would have had to pre-assume that he was going to catch on and then hide a bunch of notes.
You always gotta pre-assume.
One of which was a letter back to her from the lawyer saying, like, "I've done the thing you asked me to do."
Right.
But I think it's just, it's this kid who just had no experience with women.
Yeah.
And so he both, obsessed with her and didn't trust her at the same time, and it just ended up combining with the brain tumor I'm pretty sure he had to make her a monster in his mind.
Look, women just want our diamonds.
Look, they're really shiny, and I need them to fuel my ice gun.
No one's getting my diamonds. I hide mine in the cat box.
I know.
What? No, I was really enjoying this movie, and I've been really low energy most of this week. Like, I shot a thing on Zima earlier today, even mentioned in the video. I was like, this is like, we had Nick's wedding over the weekend, so I don't know how everyone else is, but I'm like, I just plan on being low energy for the rest of the week, because I was hungover the next day, and now I'm just kind of like, So, like, I kind of needed a really low energy movie to watch.
Well, this movie was low energy despair.
Yeah.
It was basically like women making catty faces for men to misunderstand.
Yes.
And people drinking tea, and then people like glancing at tea.
Glancing suspiciously.
And then glancing at each other and noticing each other glancing at tea.
Yeah. And the movie didn't overstay its welcome either. This movie's only like an hour and 45 minutes long. This movie it's an hour and 45 minutes long, which makes it 45 minutes shorter than the next Transformers movie that's coming out. That's insane.
I'll be honest, if Rachel Weisz was in the next Transformers movie, I'd genuinely consider watching it. Because I adore her as an actress.
Oh, yeah.
She's super, super pretty, and I think she did a really good job in this.
She was so great in this movie. Before she probably comes into the movie about 20 minutes in. Before she comes into it, like, I was kind of just sitting there waiting for her to show up, sort of. I was like...
So was the movie, it seems.
Yeah, it fucking was. I'm like, all right, when is she going to show up in here? Because then I know my interest is going to be piqued. And it was, because she's perfect in this role. Because there are moments where it's like, I can't tell if I should trust you or not. But again, like, this guy's given everything to her and whatnot, and I'm like... Yeah, you know, it happens.
She didn't ask him to. He gave her an allowance, and she's like,
again,
why? Fuck you.
Again, though, like, if you're really smart about that kind of thing, you're not going to just come out and be like, I want you to give me everything. But granted, if she literally did that, it's Rachel Weisz, so I would.
No, because that's the thing, you know?
Granted, at that point...
Think of it from if you were trying to play this guy perspective. Wouldn't you do more like the Heartbreakers route? Where... Remember the movie Heartbreakers?
The Heartbreakers?
Was it called Heartbreakers with Sigourney Weaver and Jennifer Love Hewitt?
Oh, sure.
Yeah, we're just, no vinegar, just honey, you know? Oh, thank you for the allowance. Let's continue to hang out and be friends and maybe more. There's no need to scream at him and then, kiss him weirdly in the bedroom and then kick him out immediately with a look of guilt on your face.
I don't know. Cons are a tricky thing. But granted, at this point in the movie, that's really where I thought this movie was going.
And that's the movie wanted you to think.
Yeah. So when everyone was kind of telling this guy, like, you're just thinking with your dick, bro. I was sitting there like, yeah, this guy's kind of dumb, but, who wouldn't? No, I liked the movie. I thought it was a good movie. It was a good mystery. I liked what they did with the ending of the film. I did. And again, I liked that it didn't feel too long or too short necessarily. The movie's worth it really just to see Rachel Weisz's performance alone.
Yeah, the ending's just heartbreaking. It's like she doesn't have like death scene, he realizes that she's fucking not poisoning him, runs out to the cliffside to be like, wait, don't go by the cliffside, and she's been there and gone over the cliff. Her horse is still alive, she's obviously not, so it's just like this floppy blue dress on the ground, and that's the last you see of her.
It was the horse that was dead, and they just put a bullet in her at the end. Well, that just seems unnecessary.
Fucking whatever. Put some sunglasses on her, walk her around town for a while. I like, too, that, it kind of made her out to be this, larger-than-life, like, sort of almost goddess character.
Yeah.
But she was just some lady, She was crappy with money. She was not great at picking lovers. She's super not great at picking lovers. Sort of childish, even in her I don't want to say old age. Rachel Weisz looks the same as she did in The Mummy, but she's older than the guy that's trying to get at her. Yeah. But she's still got that sort of like Rachel Weisz-y childish faces that she makes. And
this is olden times though, so you could look 40 and be 25.
Well, there's one point where she's like, I can't take you as a lover. You're a child. You're like a little puppy walking around all dejected and wet-nosed. What am I gonna do? Raise you?
And if this is the guy from Me Before You, now I'm just like, oh, so now you don't want to commit suicide? Make up your mind, dude.
He'd rather basically murder a lady for not wanting to boink him.
Still a better story than me before you. Fuck.
True.
Good God. At least we weren't supposed to sit there like, aw, at the end. Ugh.
She went to watch him kill himself after all. Love wins out.
That's romance. No, real romance is, racing towards and being too late until she dives off the cliff. Like,
No.
she's...
Real romance is Ser Jorah Mormont's daughter character, where you just wait for the guy to notice you for your entire life, and then eventually he murders the lady he was actually in love with and ends up with you out of sheer desperation.
No, real romance is when, like, she's actually stopped from her carriage falling off the cliff when Doc Brown and Marty of the DeLorean come through. And
No,
he
the
saves her
train.
from going off.
The train. What is this
Doc,
iron
she was
horse?
supposed to fall off that cliff.
Okay, so watch it if you don't mind that we just ruined the whole movie for you.
True.
Whatever. A ghost story.
Oh,
I kind of zoned out for this preview. I saw Casey Affleck, and I'm like, so I just kind of wandered off mind-wise.
I've liked most of the movies that I've seen him in. Last year, Manchester by the Sea was one of my favorite movies of the year.
Uh-huh.
And he's probably the 1,000th actor who's turned out to be kind of a shit in real life, so that doesn't faze me at all.
I feel like that should phase you more, but you do you, bruh.
If I can objectively review a Roman Polanski film, I can objectively review a movie starring Casey Affleck.
Oh no, that's fine. I'm not faulting you for it, and I'm not judging you for it. It just seems like the more there are, the more bummed out I get.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Whereas I'm sitting there like, I can still watch The Towering Inferno, and that's got OJ in it.
He murdered his wife. Remember?
All right.
Good times.
That movie, I don't know about that. The company that put that movie out, I like most of their movies, so I'll give it a chance. But man, that movie is either going to be good or Malachi.
It looked like, what was that one where it was, I think it was Terrence Malick, Tree of Life.
Yeah.
I still haven't made it all the way through. Brad told me one time that he would give me $50. I made it all the way through Tree of Life, and it's like, you know what? I don't need that
The
money.
sad thing is there's much worse Terrence Malick movies now.
Are there really?
Oh God, yeah, he has about a movie out a year now, and each one is more unwatchable than the previous one.
Womp womp.
Shit. Like, after Song to Song or Night of Cups, those movies, like, damn, maybe I was fucking harsh towards Tree of Life. Fuck.
This is like Casey Affleck puts on like a Boo Ghost costume and
Yeah.
he's kind of like wandering around after his wife, and maybe he's dead, but maybe she's dead.
I can't tell. I can't tell what the fuck this movie's about.
Yeah, like the preview was over, and I'm like, crap, what was that one called? And Brad's like, a ghost story. I'm like, okay. He's like, shit, I should have just made something up to tell you.
Yeah.
Because-
Boo boo scary fuck. That's not a real movie. That looks like
believed you.
something Brian and I will probably be at.
Um,
Because I think it's a horror film. It's called A Ghost Story.
This was sort of a horror film.
Uh,
With this creepy ass dude that tortures and then murders a lady.
yeah,
The Beguiled.
that looks awesome.
It does look awesome. I want to watch the original first, though.
Oh yeah. The original's really good too.
I don't watch stuff on streaming anymore, and so if it's not on streaming, it's like, well, I guess I don't get to see that movie.
Oh man, like, the trailer's got Colin Farrell screaming at you crazy bitches.
You vengeful bitches.
You vengeful
I
bitches.
enjoyed that line so much.
Sold.
Look what you've done to me, you vengeful bitches.
Vengeful
Like,
bitches.
They cut off his dick, I bet. Or like his legs and his arms, and he's just like a sad torso.
We'll see how it steps it up from the original.
A moment. Oh, and fuck. What's it called? An inconvenient.
Oh,
sequel,
an inconvenient sequel.
Truth to Power.
Man, like, it'd be worth doing a review of that movie just to see the comments section.
The goddamn preview gave me an anxiety attack. So you know what? That's all you, my friend.
I don't know if that'll end up coming here or not. Like I said though, like, man, the feedback alone would be kind of fun on that one, because like, man, climate change denial is like mainstream flat earthers. I don't know if this movie will
Look,
come
I
to
don't know
Springfield.
why people are talking about global warming. In the winter, we had snow. Like what?
This is true, yeah. I am able to
Snow is cold, motherfuckers.
I am
Lawyer.
able to go to the store and buy ice. That means climate change isn't real.
But just buy some ice, take it up to the Antarctic, and then feed it to the polar bears. They'll be fine.
This is what I've been saying on the forums for years, because I call myself a scientist. Even though I'm just a dumb fuck at a keyboard. Anyway, I'm sure the movie will be great.
Rough Night.
Oh, that was a different trailer for that, too. And that movie comes out in like 4 days. I'm like, why am I seeing a different trailer for this now when this movie comes out? And I'm going to be seeing it on Thursday night.
Maybe it's not testing well? I don't know. It
don't
looks
know.
relatively funny, but it's also got that, whoops, we killed the stripper thing that I'm not too fond of.
Did you not like Very Bad Things?
No. I don't like a movie where everyone is under, like, everyone is in imminent danger, and it makes them do increasingly embarrassing things to try and get out of danger, like a hijinks movie.
Right.
I don't like it. It makes me anxious.
This movie looks like if you crossed Very Bad Things with Weekend at Bernie's, and I'd rather watch both. 'Cause I fucking love Weekend at Bernie's.
This movie looks like that scene in American Wedding where Stifler eats a poop.
Oh, yeah.
Remember? Because he was
That scene where
embarrassed.
he ate a
Because
piece
what
of
if
shit.
someone finds out that he's got a piece of poop in a wrapper, and so instead he eats it?
But man, Sean William Scott, like, fucking sold that scene.
He's like, it's in his
Gosh. I like his comedic timing. I was like, you know what? You're selling the shit-eating scene.
He wasted on a shit-eating scene.
That's right. I forgot about that movie.
Dunkirk, which we've seen the preview for several times. It looks like what it is. Like the sort of movie where you know if you're gonna like Dunkirk.
Well, at least I could hear the trailer this time. Because when we got it in front of the Mummy, they had the IMAX volume turned up so goddamn loud, everyone's ears were bleeding.
Oh, Jesus.
So, like, actually, when the trailer started showing here, I'm like, I'm going to use this point to go to the bathroom. I don't want to go deaf on this trailer again.
So this is the new IMAX here in the...
Oh, the IMAX screen in there? Yeah, like, we
How
got...
is it?
Oh, it's really nice when it works. Like, in front of the Mummy, the volume was too fucking loud, and then the 3D went out on Pirates 5, which made them rewind the movie 40 minutes. So Brian and I went... No one even complained. Brian and I went out into the lobby and just hung out there until the movie caught up with itself. Jesus. But other than that, it seems fine.
In my youth, we used to go to this theater where the screen was like all the way up and across.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't know, that's not IMAX, right? IMAX is just kind of bigger and roundier.
Yeah, bigger, roundier, and like... Yeah, I don't know what those screens... I've seen screens like that before, whether it's at like a theme park or...
And it was like the novelty hadn't worn off yet, so
Yeah.
they'd show you just videos that they'd taken like flying through mountains.
Yeah.
That was the shit.
Oh, yeah, I
enjoyed
remember
that
they
very
would
much.
call that IMAX. Like, whenever I'd be at a museum and they'd have something like that, I remember, at least around here, they still called that IMAX.
It felt like if you were on the ship from Flight of the Navigator. Patty Cakes.
Oh, the rapper movie.
Yeah. Was this like based on a true story?
I think that's what it's... Wait, no, and I'm thinking of a different trailer.
Because I didn't see that pop up at any point. In which case, why we need the story of like a fat white girl rapper?
It's a spin-off of 50 Shades of Black.
Oh God, that fucking roommate.
I missed the beginning of that trailer because I went to go use the restroom during Dunkirk, and when I came back, it was that trailer, and I was like, I don't think this is Dunkirk anymore.
We think, well, it's like this, this like chubby, blonde, curly-haired girl, but by the end, it's there's like surrounded by black people telling her how talented she is, and it just made me really uncomfortable.
Maybe she is really talented. Like, even, like, Snow deserves a biopic.
I would watch the shit out of a Snow biopic.
Exactly. It'd be awesome.
Battle of the Sexes.
Oh, that looks pretty good.
It looks really good. Like, I kind of want to look up the Wikipedia to see what actually happened in the Battle of the Sexes, but I also kind of don't, so that it surprises me. So I guess it depends if I'm going to be in that movie or not.
They made a movie version out of that board game, Battle of the Sexes, we played.
That game wasn't so bad.
No, that game
It
was
seemed
fine.
a little weighted for the dudes, but that's only because I know shit about sports, and you guys knew at least a little bit about manicures.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. It helps that Brian's married to someone who's going to beauty school.
Yeah.
No, yeah, it's Emma Stone plays
Billie Jean King.
Billie Jean King. Yeah.
And then Steve Carell plays the guy that she's tennising against.
Yeah, it looked like he was playing like one of Michael Scott's old relatives.
Dude, when he first popped up at that AA meeting, I'm like, did they make a sequel to Anchorman?
Yeah, it's the Brick Tamlin story. If he were a tennis player. No, that looked really fun, honestly.
Yeah, I'm kind of into it.
Yeah, same here.
I like a 70s period piece,
So
too,
do
and I
I.
like Emma Stone. Aloha notwithstanding. And I like Steve Carell, so, I don't know, looks good.
Is there anything else?
No, I'm so hot. Let's go.
I know, this is my cousin Rachel's got...
Woo!
Rachel
We got a fit of
Vapes.
the vapor.